which I know obviously when you win, it's not good enough, but, and I know coaches don't like to, talk about them, but what are you most proud of since you've taken over? Obviously a difficult situation coming in midstream. What are you most proud of when you look back at this offense week to week, and there has been tangible improvement? What do you feel the best about?
Well, probably the gradual improvement. It's, and you alluded to it. Listen, it's not above the line this week. We didn't win. So, you're just, it starts and ends there. But we have made gradual improvement, found what's working, and doing more of that has been good. So, but challenges this week to get back on the horse and get that same improvement. I mean, we have a long ways to go yet, for the entire offense, and they know that too. And some days the burdens are just heavier, and we didn't meet, we didn't meet the goal. So when you're a good offense, you can have those days and you can meet the goal. And we're not there yet, and we're working toward there, but we're not there yet.
Just what did you make of the way Brendan played on Saturday, and just kind of the gradual improvement, like you mentioned, that I guess he individually has shown? Yeah,
I think he played his rear end off. Like I've said before, I don't think that's a question. Ran the ball good, threw the ball good. Certainly there are some things that I know, watching film with him yesterday, he wants back a couple throws. He wants back a couple things because when you're in a game like that, one play here, one play there could be the difference. So, but certainly has made improvements in command and just understanding and playing the position, right? And that's he's getting a rep base, like I told you guys, right? When you get a rep base, some things slow down, and so some things are starting to slow down for him.
Rod, you were obviously in the program last year, but probably didn't see Donovan as much as you are this year. But just from what you were able to see of him last year, since when he moved over to wide receiver to what he is now, just what's impressed you most about the development?
Well, I think I said it last week. I hope there's no ceiling on that guy. Because I think someone asked, what do you think is the ceiling for Dono? And I hope there's none. And I hope he just keeps going because he's done a great job. And, he's just a highly skilled athlete that's becoming a wide receiver and playing wide receiver. And he's doing a really good job of it right now. And, he's using all of God's tools that God gave him to his ability. And it's he's big and he's fast and he has great ball skills.
I don't know if this is the right way to ask this question, but just how do you see Brendan process? Is a game like Wisconsin where maybe he's not super explosive, but you talk about he manages the game well. It's above the line in the sense that he gets the win. And then there's a game like Illinois where I recognize there's maybe some mistakes he'd like to correct, but he also has 350 plus total yards of offense if you adjust for sacks, 5 touchdowns, but he doesn't win. Just how do you see him process basically maybe playing better and not getting the final result he wants?
Well, I think as far as the game management side, I kind of get what you're getting at. The game management side, he understood what type of game we were in, so he was being aggressive, and we needed him to be aggressive. And so understanding the two differences in the last 2 weeks of games and his ability to do that, I think has been good. It's a rep base again, right? The more you play, the more you understand, the more you do. And there's been a lot of improvement in that. And sometimes that can happen quick for young guys, that the incline can go up because those reps, I always say like every game rep for a quarterback's like worth 2 or 3 practice reps. So he's getting more and he's doing those things. So did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and kind of an extension of that last drive, to force overtime from Brendan, are those moments that are sort of you can't really teach? You need to have kind of experience, in that, and how important are those to kind of help a quarterback's development?
Yeah, the hardest situation to put a young quarterback in is a live 2-minute drill, especially we have to score and have a 2-point conversion, so it's not just getting in field goal range. That's the most difficult one. We do that every week, right? We have a scenario every week in practice versus the defense where it's 2 minutes. It's not the same. And so for him, and really there's a lot on him at that moment. There's not much help. Obviously I can call the play, but there's not much after that I can do for him. We have to go fast, so he has to make kind of all the decisions out there once the play call is being delivered. So he executed at a high level in that scenario, and then the 2-point conversion, he bought himself some time, and EJ made a great catch. So, I'll go back to my point earlier. That's probably worth, every one of those reps is probably worth 3 times we do it in practice.
Yeah, just reflecting on the overtime play calling sequencing, what was kind of the thought process?
Yeah, well, I wish I could have it back now because it didn't work, right? Yeah, I mean, we, needed to get a touchdown there and didn't. And that's one of those things, I think I've said it a million times, you guys, I think if you score 100 points or if you score 3 points, there's always play calls you want back because some didn't work and those didn't. And so like to have those back in that scenario. And field goal kicker came in and made a great field goal to give us a lead, which was fantastic, but certainly felt like we left some points out there in that specific drive as well. And there were other ones in the game too, but that one specifically.
Is that a feeling, going off that, is that a feeling that you only feel when you look back on a game, or is that something that you're feeling in the moment where there's a pressure, especially in a shootout like that?
Work. The calls didn't work, so, I mean, you hate it right then. You make a call anytime, whether it's 1st and 10, first play of the game, and it doesn't work, you're like, ugh, bad play call. That's something that just as a play caller you have instant regret for, is what I think you can call that. Because we don't design plays to go for 2 yards, right? We design all of them to score, and so there's, and if you live by that standard, you're always gonna fall short, which we did in that case.
When you have a defense that is struggling as much as yours was on Saturday, as an offensive play caller, does that factor into your aggressiveness with things? Because if you knew that kicking a field goal was fine, but a touchdown was probably necessary since they'd already given up 640 yards.
Yeah, certainly I think game flow, as you put the whole game together, you understand that as a play caller. And so certainly think there was an element of being more aggressive there, given the game situation. And like I said, those calls didn't work, so I wish I had them back. But we certainly were aggressive in that. And like I alluded to before, there are days like that where, one side of the ball has to carry the other. And I think certainly it's been flipped a lot lately here. And like the Wisconsin game, just take that. I mean, defense closed it out. We made one drive at the end. So they carried the offense that day. And we didn't hold up our end on that, and that's why it's below the line. With all the good things, and there are plenty of good things, you never shy away from those, but in the end, we didn't. And so, yeah, you'd like to have had this play call back, that play call back, but that one back. Even with, the good things you did, you'd like to have those things back. And that's, like I said, been in this game a long time, so I don't think I've ever come out of a game where I've called plays and felt great about every single one of them, period. So, but is that it? You guys are easy today, man. Have a good day, guys.